Hello everyone, we're going to be playing some Once Upon a Galaxy here, spotlighting our new free captain, Merryweather. Merryweather says your supports also affect themselves and give an additional +1 attack. So let's get to some games. Alright, we've got a support right off the bat. So Puck normally would give +3 attack, but instead gives +4 and will himself now be a 5-1 as a result of that. So one of the cool things about Merryweather is that you can sometimes put your supports in the front row if you want, and they're still 5-1s. In this case, we don't need to do that. Like we just have, we have the back row slot still available, but you can't really go overboard on supports on Merryweather because they impact themselves. Like a 5-1 is just a fine size to play as a character, and we got a second support in picks, so we could do 6-4 and 5-1 or 2-4 and 6-4. I think 2-4 and 6-4 is a little stronger, more likely to win the first round. And it did. Nice. So no supports here. We'll take Thorn for sort of a long-term investment. And then I think we'll do Puss in Boots. That sounds pretty nice. So yeah, we have a nice supported board, really strong for this early in the game. That this is sort of where Merryweather shines, is in this early game section. Ooh, and Peter Pan is perfect. A lot of the supports are Fey themselves, so picking up a little bonus to our Fey buffs will be great. And there's Pan Shadow, excellent. All right, so we've got +1/+1 to our Fey buffs already. We're off to the races. Flying Monkey took out our support, but no problem. We still win the fight. Um, hmm. So Pyrat is, a small upgrade over Puss in Boots. What Big Teeth is a fine spell to cast. We're not really doing animals, so Baby Bear and Foul Lich don't really appeal, but I think I'll go Pyrat. Ooh, and there's the Silver Peter Pan. All right. And the Silver Pan Shadow. This game is going awesome. Um, don't really love any of these options. I think we'll just go You Meet in a Tavern. What I'd really love to find here is a Tink. At this point, Tink is going to give a lot of stats for us. We got a Snowball instead. So it's a little worse than Peter Pan right now, but long term it might be stronger. And then I think I'll rearrange so that the Pyrat has the most attack possible. I think that'll be a good spot for us to be. Looks like our Snowball is unfortunately not going to get KO'd, so no buffs there. Ooh, Boon Willow, excellent. And look, our Fey buffs are already nice and big, so it'll give both of our slots +5/+4. That's sick. The question is, I think we should just replace this Pan Shadow. And then we'll do that. And Goodie Bag is a really awesome one to support. So I'll go ahead and replace Snowball with that. And yeah, we should be really strong for the next couple of fights, I think. All right. Easy dub there. So Jack Frost is just a strictly better picks at this point. Just gives a little more stats. So we can replace that, or we could replace Puck. I think either one is reasonable. Let's do Puck. Not a lot worth doing here, so we'll just do Chaos for a random spell, which is a True Love's Kiss, not a bad one. Let's upgrade this Pyrat, see what we get. The Tin Man, not exactly an upgrade over Pyrat. I think I actually would have preferred the Pyrat, but that's fine. It's not a bad thing either. All right, we're still crushing. Ooh, there's a Tink. I really like Tink. Let's replace the Tin Man because we're not even hurt, so we don't really need the bonus from Tin Man. We're not that likely to finish his quest anytime soon. All right, a couple of silvers. And now we have Gold Pan Shadow or Silver Chaos. So we get a free spell or +2 attack on our Fey buffs. I think I'll go with the +2 attack on our Fey buffs. It's just too fun to pass up. Not a lot to love here. I would have loved a support based treasure, but Genie's Lamp is fine. It can do some good stuff. And then I think I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. I want to try to get this goodie bag scaling with Tink, just because every time it attacks it gets a pretty big stat buff. So I think I'm gonna actually arrange my board like this, even though it's a little bit weird looking. We're missing out on sort of getting the goodie bag double supported, but we're getting the ability to grow it over time with this Tink bonus. All right, Scarecrow is a fine one to pick up. Don't really love any of these options, so I think I'm just gonna what Big Teeth the goodie bag. Oh, I forgot we had the Genie's Lamp. All right, so we got to double that bonus. That's not bad. Yeah, this goodie bag is getting pretty big now. But we're actually gonna lose the fight. All right, so we're starting to fall behind the curve. We need to do a little bit to pick it up. 10 million Fireflies is awesome. We have a bunch of Fae already. We can go ahead and replace Jack Frost with that one, I think. And now every Fae we find is like a big bonus. And let's do Shrink Tea. I think a pair of Shrink Teas means we're pretty likely to win the fight. And it looks like we will tie. Okay, all right, that's fine. That's fine. Silver Chaos, sure, I'll take a free spell. Not the most impactful spell I've ever seen, but not the worst either. So we could Giant Growth our goodie bag, which is always a good thing to do, or just Two-Headed Wizard for the double spell later. Yeah, sure, Double Stroke of Midnight, why not? And that'll finish off our Scarecrow, which got us... I guess I'll do Shield of Athena. That seems fine. It's not nothing super exciting. Doesn't exactly work with what we're doing, but it's just a very solid treasure in general. Oh darn! They sniped our Tink, so we didn't get to scale up at all, and we're gonna lose the fight. Oh, double brutal. All right, Sunflare seems good. It's giving more of a buff than Boon Willow at the moment, so let's take. I guess we'll just replace Scarecrow with that, but I think we will put it in the back row. And then, sure, Jill Sunshine, why not? That sounds good. And I think I'm going to move Goodie Bag over now to sort of the maximum strength position for it. Ah, this Flying Monkey is a real thorn in our side. Darn, we lost again. Alright, Sunflare, which triggers 10 million Fireflies, so that's nice. Sparkles is stronger than Boon Willow, but maybe we should just be moving on from Tink, actually. I think that kind of makes sense. Another 10 million Fireflies. All right, we're getting a lot of 10 million Fireflies triggers, which are making us a lot stronger. And then nothing useful in this shop, so we'll just hit off a Starlight Starbright with 3 silvers on the board, so it's pretty decent. I would love if we went first. Darn, I was gonna say I would love if we went first and KO'd that that guy off the board, but the monkey has been a thorn in our side. But we finally are starting to turn it around. We actually won that fight. Yeah, don't really want Frankenstein's Doctor. We'll just do Lost in the Woods. Fires of Ares I could put on the Boon Willow slot and it would be fine, but I think I'll just take an extra shop instead. Fairy Dragon would be okay. We have... It's not a great board for it, but we can just trigger our 10 million Fireflies with it instead, which is pretty good. Ooh, and there's the gold 10 million Fireflies, so we'll get a big buff to our Fae and a... Dragon's Crown is the only thing that makes us stronger right now. Fairy Queen's Wand could make us stronger in the future. Let's do Fairy Queen's Wand. And just hope that we, win this fight again. It looks like we actually will. Oh, I really wanted to go left, so I guess we'll tie. That's fine. That's fine. We can start to leverage our Fairy Queen's Wand now. Ooh, Gold Peter Pan. Pick a peck of peppers on 10 million Fireflies, also pretty appealing. Because we'll probably get a silver of some fairy. We've drafted a lot of Fae so far. Yeah, let's do pick a peck of peppers. I think that's a good one. Okay, we did not actually get a silver, which I was kind of expecting to, but I think I could still just take Oberon and be pretty happy with it. It's going to be a lot more stats than Boon Willow. All right. And now also this flying monkey's a little less annoying. I was going to say if it hits our Oberon, it's not a big deal, but looks like we still won the fight. All right, so it's the true finals now. We're heads up. We can start with Silver Fairy Dragon to trigger that. None of these are really doing much for us. I guess I'll just take the Merlin for the silver possibilities. And then Grotto on Goodie Bag to finish it off. Hopefully that was good enough. I think it will be. Yeah, it will be. Excellent. All right. So there you go. That's a dub with Merryweather. Kind of an awesome Merryweather game. We got a lot of fairy stuff going, really showed off the captain. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next month.